and she's going to try to sign you up for a T-shirt. That's our drawing for tonight. All right, good evening and welcome to Uptown Bill's. Very good, very good. We've got a nice audience here. We hope you're enjoying watching us at home. It's Thursday evening, so it's time for Uptown Bill's Live. Uptown Bill's is named for Bill Sachter, who's the man in the picture behind me. Bill came to Iowa City in the 1970s after almost 50 years in a big old state institution in Minnesota for people with disabilities. He came with Barry Morrow, who's the guy on the right. And it was a far different time in the 1970s when he came, and Iowa City was a pretty small town. So they had a hard time finding a job for him. What eventually emerged was a little coffee shop, and they called it Wild Bill's Coffee Shop. And that's where Bill worked. Barry, his friend Barry, thought, well, this is working out pretty well. So he wrote a story about Bill, which evolved into the screenplay for a movie, Bill. And the picture behind me is a promotional picture for that first film. Mickey Rooney played Bill, and that's Dennis Quaid up in the corner with all that hair. He played Barry. And so Bill became famous, and in the summers people would come to visit him from all over the country to see the real Bill at Wild Bill's coffee shop. After Bill died, the coffee shop stayed. It's still there, still in North Hall. And we grew out of there. Started in 2001. Sometimes I say we're the bigger, badder Bills. What you're watching tonight evolved from a songwriters forum that started 15 years ago. And it's moved into what it is now. And as I said earlier, we're being broadcast live on PATV. And if technology works, we should be streaming live too, so you could watch it on your laptop if you're not present. After the show is over, we take the film from the evening and archive it on YouTube, usually. Once in a while, there's some technical problem and it doesn't work. But it did work last week, right, Rick? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rick posted and said you could see him at, 8 minutes in or something like that? So, all right. We are ready for our first performer tonight. Josh is here, and we are ready for you. You want to come up? Okay, and you're probably going to sit, right? Yeah. Okay.
Did you adjust the microphone for me? I guess I can do it.
Hang on here, let's plug you in first. Alrighty. Strum and guitar, if you would.
Well, I'm going to play a bunch of songs that I wrote back in the 60s. This first one is covered by a band called Steelers Wheel. The song is called Stuck in the Middle with You. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling there's something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. and I wonder what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep a smile from my face. It keeps showing up all over the place. Those clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, you started out with nothing and you found that you're a something man. And your friends, they all come calling, slap you on the back and say, please, please. Trying to make some sense of it all, but I can see it makes no sense at all. It's so hard to go to sleep on the floor, and I don't think that I can take anymore. Well, there's clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling there's something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair, and I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you, and I'm wondering what it is I should do. Thank you. All right. All right, this next one is covered by a guy named Van Morrison. The song is called Brown Eyed Girl. Let's see. Hey, where did we go? Days when the rain came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with a hearts a thumping in you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Now whatever happened, it's Tuesdays and so slow, going down the old mine with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind a rainbow's wall, slipping and a sliding, all along the water will fall with you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha la 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 da, sha la 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 da, la da. So hard to find my way now that I'm on my own. I saw you just the other day. My, how you have grown. Cast my memory back here, Lord, with sometimes I overcome thinking about making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You're my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha la 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 da, Sha la 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 ti da la ti da. Thank you. All right. Well, would you quit judging me? I said, would you quit judging me? It might be a joke, so sorry for putting you on the spot, buddy. All right. This is not one that I wrote myself, but it was wrote about me. The song is it was played by a girl named Adele, and the song is called "Someone Like You." Yeah. I heard that you are settled down, that you found a girl, and that you are married now. Well, I heard that your dreams come true. I guess she gave you things that I did not give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? It ain't like you to hold back or to hide from a lie. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I could not stay away. No, I could not fight it. Well, I had hoped you'd see my face and that you would be reminded that for me it is not over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember that you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. You know how the time flies, only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I could not stay away. No, I could not fight it. I'd hoped that you would see my face and that you would be reminded that for me it is not over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember that you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead, yeah. Nothing compares, no worries or no cares with regrets and mistakes. They are both memories made. Who would have known how bittersweet that this love would taste? Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember that you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember that you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Thank you. Encore, encore. That was a joke, you guys, so you can laugh now. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for Peter. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you. That's Josh Pierce. Is Christina here? I guess not. Okay, then Grant, I would walk in the other room and tune up your guitar, and you'll be after Rick, who's next here. Small surprise for you, but you've managed bigger surprises than that, right? And well, while you're working with that, why don't we have our drawing? We'll give away a couple of T-shirts. We'll invite Maya up to the stage, and we have two T-shirts. One is I don't know what is the black one. Oh, the Badlands. Okay, in South Dakota. All right, and these are adult-sized T-shirts. I'll hold the basket. You want to pick one? All right. We'll give away the Badlands T-shirt first. The Suspense. Ooh. All right. Let's see. Rick, you get to go to the Badlands. At least you get a T-shirt. Okay. All right, and the other one is, it says Coffee Rocks, I think, right? Oh, it's long-sleeved. Ooh, I didn't know that. All right. So if you reach in and we'll see who gets this one. John Rogers. Hey. All right. Very good. Thank you. Okay, this is Maya's first night. She's going to be with us on Thursdays. So welcome her and go easy on her the first night, will you? Also helping us out tonight, of course, is Emily, who's back from an adventure in Minnesota, where she was last week. And she too will be here during the summer. All right, Rick, are we ready? Rick got a new camera tonight and for filming himself, and he's been trying it out. He told us that he bought it on the way here. So, the tripod, all right. I like it better when you bought the camera on the way here. Okay, well, come on up and let's get you set up. Wait, he had second thoughts. He turned around and walked back. All right. Plug in? Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, this song is called Nothing But My Love. I had a car that goes so fast, kind you only dream of. But all planes pass, can't pay for gas. I got nothing but my love. Hey! I was a geek I was a freak, the kids made fun of. Flip 'em and down, but I rebound, 'cause I got nothing but my love. Hey! If you want more, you gotta give it away. Take what you can, but plan for nothing to stay. She was so cute, it's no dispute. She's the stuff, she sure was. She got away that rainy day. Now I got nothing but my love. Hey! If you want more, you gotta give it away. Take what you can, but plan for nothing to stay. If you want more, you gotta give it away. Take what you can, but plan for nothing to stay. I got a lot, I got a yacht. Let me show you what I'm made of. But when it ends, when I check in, I got nothing but my love. I got nothing but my love. I got nothing but my love. Thank you. Okay, this song is about Ebens. It was about the planet Serpo. That it was rumored that we had a secret mission in the 60s to send 12 astronauts up to this planet with some ETs. And if you want to look this up on the internet, it's just put, I think it's SERPO. And it's amazing. You know, you might take it as fiction too, but it's still an amazing story. Anyway, so this inspired that inspired this song called "A Wish to Believe." Actually, I'm not going to use this cable. Let's do it. Okay. Could there be someone from a different kind of star? Somewhere in the night, so far away. Would they have the day and darkness as they sleep? When their sun goes down, would their seasons spin around? Would they have 2 moons and creatures not like ours? Would they drive in cars or float above the trees? And what of wars and laws, or maybe none at all? Can they live 1,000 years? Do they fall in love? Simple could be life, infinite and free. I wish to believe. As they work and play, do they worry about their pay? Do they fear what they cannot see? Count the minutes of the day. Do they paint the stars or dance for what may be? And to what they have or not, do they give a second thought? Simple could be life, infinite and free. Wish to believe in the silver ship, a journey as we dream. Bend the speed of light and what we know to be. Then when we arrive, would they teach us day by day? Would it take so long to learn with the earth so far away? Do we both come from the dust? Do they kind of look like us? I wish to believe. Thank you. That's what happens when you listen to Coast every night. That's back from the Art Bell days, I think. Let's see. This is called the Song of the Scattered Soul. I think I wrote it basically about myself. I don't know. Playing on a broken heart, some forgotten tune. Wondering where you are, would you call me soon? Won't you throw to me crumbs of memory? I'll pick and play the parts from a broken heart. Booked in a backstreet bar, crowds looking old and gray, tipped in an empty jar, band too drunk to play. Those were better days. Would you dare to say, dare I change a chord to simplify the score? Beat you drums, you believers things were never told. Beat them hard to deliver, tongue of the scattered soul. Playing on a broken harp, night shuffles in the trees. Bets on a stack of stars, you'll return to me. Half of me lives then, the other half pretends. It's nice to fall apart in the home of a broken heart. Beat those drums, see the splendor, space with open doors. Is it hard to remember? All you see is yours. Beat those drums, you believers, things were never told. Beat them hard to deliver the song of the scattered soul. Okay, thank you. And thank you for the T-shirt. Okay.
Okay, that was Rick Vornbrock. Rick and J.P. Clausen founded what is now the open mic 15 years ago. It's the second oldest open mic in town. The oldest one is at the Mill. Jay Knight has been the host of that one for over 30 years. It's every Monday night, starts at 8 o'clock. All right, Grant was hoping there might be a spot, and we're going to slip him in here. He's from out of town. We'll find out more about him after you sing a tune or two. You want to sit or you want to stand?
I'll
or?
stand.
Okay.
While I can. While I still can. Yeah. I hope it'll work. It seemed to. I just had it redone.
Stool over there. Need a stool.
No, I'm fine. I won't make the usual comment. Just kind of bass heavy, so if you can cut down a little bit on the bass. Okay. Fine with me. It's okay with people out there. It's okay with me. Okay. If I could remember this one. It began in Greenwich Village back in 1961. I was learning to play folk guitar, just having a little fun. We all looked ahead to better days when we would ride Paisley highways. Now Ed was the last of the beatniks with a beat-up Buick car. And George was a street-walking poet with a girl in every bar. Those days are gone, but the memory stays when we discovered Paisley highways. Well, I met Eileen in San Antonio. She taught me a thing or three on how to live a different way on the edges of society. You only get just what you pay. That's the toll on Paisley Highway. Well, in November of '66, where Asbury meets hate, I've been bent up quite a bit by then, forgotten how to live straight. We all walked around in a purple haze, lost and dreaming on Paisley highways. Well, the years they passed, the times they changed. It was one hell of a ride. Now we're paunchy, we're bald, we're getting gray, but the music, it never died. In our rooms, the music plays as we remember Paisley highways. Now Ed jackknifed in Michigan, and George is looking for God. Eileen has grandkids now. I find that kind of odd. They've all gone their separate ways, forgotten about Paisley highways. So I'm out here alone as the music plays, 'cause I'm still riding Paisley highways. Thanks. Ooh, so few people can make so much noise. It's nice. Here she comes, whirling down the street. That's one lady, boy, you don't want to meet. She's gonna sweep you right off of your feet. She's a tornado who'll spin you around, pick you up, dangle you high off the ground. Then she'll leave you on some foreign ground. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly what to do with you. She's gonna leave you in the lost and found, with your life all scattered and flung around. We think you learn everything you need in school. You think you got it together, you're just a fool. 'Cause you're gonna end up being drowned in her whirlpool. She's the 49 whirlwind, a real cyclone. Your plans will be shattered, your dreams all flown. Then she'll leave you in some twilight zone. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly what to do with you. You're gonna be lost and confused, all in her fog. Right at her feet like some used up old hound dog. Yeah. You think you got the world sitting in your lap. You think you got it all, boy. It's just a trap. She's got you pinned to her weather map. So you better find yourself a good strong storm shelter. She's gonna leave you in pieces, all helter-skelter. Your whole damn life is gonna be out of kilter. She knows exactly what to do. She knows exactly what to do with you. She's gonna leave you in the lost and found, with your life all scattered and flung around. Yeah, here she comes, whirling down the street. That's one lady, boy, you don't want to meet. Your devastation will be total and complete. Got time for one more? One more? Good. Thank you. We met up on Hawk Mountain a long time ago, when life was young and we were free. We swooped and we soared in our springtime. Now the autumn winds have brought you back to me. We're the beaver and the deer, songbirds all in flight. We danced up to the heavens while stars were shooting through the night. Now our ancient wings are stiff and weary. Our beaks have been scarred by life. In 30 long years they cut right through us. An autumn-bladed night. You must fly, 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 my lady, you must fly. Now October skies are clear and open. We're no longer tethered to the past. Let us ride the thermals of the present while autumn currents last. There's cider in the air, colored leaf dance in the breeze. Let us join their celebration and dance once more above the trees. So come and fly with me, my lady. Remember springtime and its warmth. Let us swoop and soar once more together, ignoring winter's future storms. We must fly, we must fly, we must fly, we must fly, we must fly. Oh, my lady, we must fly. We must stretch our weary ancient wings, stretch them as far as they will reach. Thank you all very much. Coming down.
I want to ask you a couple questions before you go, if I could.
Okay, I might be able to answer all.
All right. Now, you said you're in town just for a few days?
Just for tonight.
Just for tonight. What brings you here?
A Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Very
No,
good, very good.
last year I traveled around the country,
Uh-huh.
and so this year I decided just to go to the northern tier in British Columbia.
Ah, and where's home?
Well, right now home is the Mitsubishi
Oh,
Eclipse.
okay.
But I left Massachusetts, and I'll probably go back there.
Okay.
if I can
And-
find a place that I can afford.
Is that where you're from originally, or?
I've lived up and down the East Coast most of my life.
Uh-huh.
1 year in Southern California, New Orleans, and Western Pennsylvania. But from Florida up to Vermont, I'm from Connecticut originally.
Okay. And how long have you been playing?
Well, I've been performing now. I'll be 51 years in about 18 days.
Wow.
June 20th.
Okay.
Of course, I've been performing all that time. In the 70s, there weren't a lot of places to play anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you found us.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm glad I did too. It's a great audience.
next tour, remember us the next time around.
Okay.
So-
If I will, and I'm going to mention you to some of my friends too.
Please do.
I don't know if they'll make it, but
All
if
right.
they come out this way, they'll
Thank
be
you so
looking for
much.
you.
That's Grant, and I
Okay,
think
thank
he has
you
a
all
last
very
name.
much.
Okay. Once again, ask about Christina. Any Christinas here that signed up? Somebody signed up? No? Patrick? All right. Then it's Joe. We'll have Emily come up while you're making your way up here and read the answers to our questions for tonight. How's that? Okay? All right. Joe likes to make a slow entrance, so it's just an act. All right. Emily has our question for tonight and what our audience had to say.
All right, so the question tonight was, who has influenced you or your life the most besides your parents? So we have Jesus, Jim Morrison, and Sarah Shaw, my daughter. My brother, he beat me up a lot. Barbara Walters. A best friend, John. My husband. My aunts and uncles, another best friend, I'm going to mispronounce this name, I'm sorry, Cater, Jesus, maternal grandparents, and that was the last one we had for tonight.
All right, Joe has reached the stage. Do you want a chair?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you went and got it yourself. I'm not a very good host. You get your own chair.
I read Henry Thoreau. I know how to be self-reliant. So. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'm not only screwing up my feet, I'm screwing up yours.
Next time, bring a tow truck.
Oh. How's that?
Looks good to me.
Okay.
Look to you. Looks good, Sam. Give him a little applause.
Oh,
You have a line?
wait a minute. I haven't done anything yet.
All right.
More silence? Is that what you want? I've written a novel entitled Skip Day. It's going to be published this month, later this month. And I thought I'd try out chapter 1 on you. It's entitled Skip Day. And what it's about should be readily apparent to you by the time I get to the bottom of the second page. And the first chapter is entitled The Hearse. The black 1949 Packard hearse with the for sale sign in the window had been parked on the green lawn framed by elm trees in front of the Henniger Allen Funeral Home in Enid, Oklahoma for 3 weeks. Every morning on his way to Enid High School and every afternoon on his way home, Joe Ralston stared at it. He had always been fascinated with the accoutrements of death. He had seen about every horror movie that had ever come to town. His favorite actors were horror icons Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Peter Lorre. In elementary school, when he discovered his father's old tuxedo in the family's basement cedar closet, he dressed in it for several Halloweens, for as long as it would fit him as a ghoul, Dracula, and the hilarious mortician from the old radio program The Life of Riley. "Good evening," he would say in his newly developed baritone as he was trick-or-treating. "My name is Digger Odell." Each player on Enid High's 1957-58 basketball team, of which he had been a minor member, had received a trophy of a player standing on a pedestal holding a ball aloft as a prize for winning Enid's 1957 Christmas tournament. He had hung the trophy by the player's neck with a piece of manila twine from the ceiling light fixture in his bedroom next to a rubber replica of a shrunken head. Joe felt confined by the Enid of 1959. Except for American history and literature, he was bored by his classes and with editing Enid High's biweekly newspaper, The Quill. His true excitement came from his part-time job taking and printing photographs, minor writing, and other jobs for the Enid Morning News. It was his first real paying grown-up job. He earned the minimum wage, $1 an hour. He was looking forward to entering the University of Chicago that fall. Chicago, the city of blues and jazz and grit and flamboyant women and people who had ideas outside the mainstream. That was the place for him. And the University of Chicago. He felt such a thrill when he opened his undergraduate catalog and noticed all the names of the Nobel Prize-winning laureates the university had produced. At 18 years of age, one of the things he wanted most was a Nobel Prize for something, anything. Joe felt a deep need to put an exclamation point on the end of his boyhood days in Enid. Skip Day, the traditional day on which all graduating students were excused from class, was approaching. That Friday, students would gather in their vehicles on the Placade on West Cherokee Street in front of the Champlin Municipal Swimming Pool, parade around the square, and then drive to Meadow Lake Park on the south edge of town for a picnic, miniature golf, and of all things that could be desired by students about to graduate from high school, a ride on the Kiwanis Club's kiddie train. By 1 p.m., the festivities would be over and the students would be free the rest of the day to do whatever they wanted. Joe thought that driving the black hearse covered with graffiti during Skip Day activities not only would be a lot of fun for him and his buddies, but also would make a statement that would somehow stamp his imprimatur on the community. Joe would make Enid, Oklahoma known as the place where the great man had once driven a black hearse covered with graffiti around town on Skip Day. He had more than $300 saved from his job at the Enid Morning News, so one day after school and before he went to work, he drove to the Henniger Allen Funeral Home to speak with the man in charge, Larry Allen. Joe had first encountered Allen 8 years before when his great-aunt Letty Riley had died. He was impressed that Allen was involved with death all the time. Joe had another encounter with Allen a year later when his grandmother, Olivia Kelly, passed away. Allen seemed to be a generous, friendly, sympathetic man with a warm and most appropriate sense of humor. Joe knew Allen had been to his family's home for his parents' annual wassail parties, but he also remembered his father, Dave Ralston, who was always frugal, haggling with Allen 2 years before over the cost of the funeral for his childless great-uncle, Butch Ralston. Now he wanted to deal with the mortician. Joe surmised that underneath that glossy, jolly exterior, Allen was a shrewd businessman and that he had better have compelling reasons for renting the hearse at a modest rate. Death, for his idea, was not an option. Joe introduced himself to the reception and asked to see Mr. Allen. "What for?" she asked curtly. Joe blurted out, "I want to see if I can rent the hearse you have for sale on the front lawn for Skip Day." Without showing any emotion, she rose and entered Allen's office. Moments later, she returned and said flatly, "Mr. Allen can see you now. Go on in." Joe entered the office. The interior walls were paneled in darkly stained pine and lined with bookcases containing books and manila files containing records of funerals dating back more than six decades to Enid's founding in 1893. Between the windows on the exterior walls were prints of 19th century pastoral paintings of families dressed in fine clothing and engaged in picnics, carriage rides, and games of badminton and croquet. The wall-to-wall carpet was rich and dark green. Allen sat behind a huge mahogany desk. He gestured for Joe to sit in one of the stuffed dark brown leather chairs facing his desk. "What can I do for you, Joe?" he asked. Joe decided to get to the point. "I want to rent the hearse you have for sale for Senior Skip Day." "Why?" Allen asked impassively. "Well, my friends and I want to paint funny phrases on it with white shoe polish and drive it in the parade." Allen scowled. Joe tensed but pushed on. "We would return it the next day." Allen's scowl grew darker. Joe pushed harder. "We would wash all the shoe polish off and vacuum the interior, and we would return the hearse in mint condition." Joe continued with what he hoped would be his clinching argument. Moreover, letting us rent the hearse would show the city of Enid that your company has a sense of humor and a generous heart. Alan stared at Joe, and his face seemed to brighten slightly. However, an awkward silence ensued. Look, Mr. Allen, Joe said as he threw in what he thought would be an even better argument. When my grandmother, my Aunt Letty, and my Uncle Butch died, you handled the funeral arrangements. You did a wonderful, sensitive, caring job. You may have even handled funerals for relatives I don't even know about. I hope this doesn't happen for many years to come, but I'll talk to my brother John and my sister Debbie about this, and when my folks die, I'm sure we'll bring all our business to you. My parents love Enid, so they have lived here forever. I'm sure they'll never move away, and I'm sure that this is what they would want. Alan brought his hand to his face and coughed to suppress a smile. After taking a deep breath, he asked, "Do you have any guarantees?" "Well, you have my word," Joe replied, and then he thought of his hard-earned $300 stash. "And I can afford $20. "No," Alan said, and paused dramatically. "What I was getting at is, do you have any insurance?" That word drove a cold, hard spike into Joel's heart. He had never thought about that contingency. "No," he drawled, and then added quickly, "but I'm sure my dad does." "Knowing him as I do," Alan replied wanly, "I think that's highly likely." He looked at Joe's flushed face and drummed his fingers on his desk. "Could you have your dad call me about this?" he asked. "Sure," Joe replied with some trepidation. He had never discussed the idea with his parents. He could call home and plead his case, he thought. Pop's always been tough on new ideas, but I just might win him over, with Mom's help, of course. At this point, he had nothing else to lose. "Sure," Joe continued, trying to stall for time. "I don't think I can get a hold of him until this evening. Can I have him call you here in the office tomorrow?" "Yes," Alan replied, "that'll be fine." Joe shook his hand, turned, and left for work. When he arrived at the Enid Morning News, he telephoned home. His mother answered. Joe knew he would have better luck with her and figured he could use her for leverage on his father. So when she told him that Dave Ralston was not home, Joe told her what he wanted to do. She said she would have Dave call him when he arrived. When Joe's telephone rang 30 minutes later, he heard his father say, "Son, your mother told me what you want to do, and I want to hear this from you in your own words." Joe told him. "Who will drive this thing?" Dave asked. "Me," Joe replied reflexively, and then sensing his father's apprehension, "and only me." "Okay, and you will drive it only where you say you will drive it?" "Yes." "And you will fill it with gas before you return it?" "Yes, sir." Dave Ralston sighed. Then he said, "All right, I'll back you on this." And then he added with some trepidation in his voice, "I'll trust you on this." "Thank you. But if something happens, I'll take the cost out of your college fund, and you will replace the money." "Yes, sir. I understand, sir," Joe said, and he cringed. After Joe hung up, he leaned back in his chair and heaved a sigh. Then he threw himself into his work, making copies of photographs and matrices on blue plastics for the presses, printing photographs in the darkroom, and rewriting stories from the morning news's afternoon counterpart, the afternoon Daily Eagle. The flush of his success with his father made him have trouble concentrating. Bob Holman, the city editor, gave him a story to rewrite about the burglary of a store on the square the previous night. A thief had tried to steal a bronze bust of William Shakespeare from the window of Kay's Interiors on Main Street. The store was around the corner and up the street from police headquarters. When the thief broke the window, a burglar alarm went off. An officer appeared on the scene almost immediately. The burglar could not run quickly enough to avoid apprehension while carrying the heavy statue, so he laid it on the sidewalk in front of Cromwell Printing. Joe rewrote the lead as, "A thief Monday night found a bust too heavy to handle." Shortly after he turned the story in, Holman burst into laughter, shared what Joe had written with the rest of the Morning News' editorial staff, causing Joe considerable embarrassment. Holman returned the story to him for further work. When Joe returned home from school the following day, his father met him at the front door. Dave Ralston told his son that the hearse was his from Thursday, the afternoon before skip day, until Saturday afternoon when it had to be.